seat. I am here. I'm looking forward to listening to what the public has to say. I am looking forward to learning, and I am looking forward to help people to understand what their issues are. Let us see how we could unravel them, and let us see how we can provide some meaningful responses to them. So I'm happy to join the Issues St. Kitts Nevis team, and I look forward to it all today. Now, today, we are all coming off the heels of our 27th edition of Music Festival. Excuse my voice a bit. I had a great time at Music Festival, like I'm sure many of us did. So today we are going to be talking music, but before I delve into any call-ins and comments to hear about your experiences and also to share mine, I have invited two young ladies. They're here with me. They're potential musicians, I think. And we are going to discuss, we are going to find out what is happening with them. Abigail Hillocks and Shade Hillocks, too? Yeah. Yes, Abigail and Shade Hillocks, two young ladies are in studio with me, and we are going to see what angle they take on music and why they are here. We are going to delve into that. But before we take a little break, I want to say to you that in conducting this program, I know sometimes people get passionate about what they feel, and let us keep it as a dialogue. Let us keep it comfortable. Let us listen to everyone, and let us keep it respectful. So my DJ here will take a little break, and then I'll come back with the two young ladies.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low-interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
Okay, and we are back, and two young ladies are here. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Abigail Hillocks, and I am 16 years old.
Hi, my name is Shade Hillocks, and I am also 16 years old.
Ah, twins.
Yeah.
I have a pair of twins here with today, and they are from a music school. Would you like to tell us which music school you are representing today?
Sure. Today we are representing the Lawrence School of Music.
Great. And what event are you here to talk about? Tell us.
Today we are talking about the Lawrence School of Music annual pianoforte concert.
Okay, very good. Many children, attend this school. We have many graduates who are involved in music today.
Yeah.
Still, I have attended several of them, and I know sometimes Lady Lawrence would invite them to come back to participate. And it is a very good music school with very high quality. So which concert are you preparing for? Which concert is this one? Who would like to tell us?
Okay, this concert is the July concert.
Yes, the July one.
Yeah, and normally there's two concerts every year. There's one in July and one in December. So the one we're preparing for is the July one.
The July one.
Yeah.
And do you know, for the general public, the first concert was held in 1982?
Yeah.
And it only had a break for COVID in 2020, 2021, and 2022. So last year you celebrated which one?
Last year we celebrated 40th anniversary.
Yes, the Ruby anniversary. So it is a robust school, one that one should consider, you know, once you have that high interest in music. And where will it be held this year?
This year it will be held at the Wesley Methodist Church.
Okay, the Wesley Methodist Church. And on the which date?
July 8th.
July 8th.
So that's next week, Tuesday.
That's next week,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Keep that in mind.
At 7:30
At
p.m.
7:30 p.m. So, at this pianoforte, do I have it correct?
Pianoforte.
Pianoforte, yes. What kind of music do we expect? Shade would like to take on that. Bring the mic a little closer.
At our annual pianoforte concert, you can expect violin, piano music, singing, violin ensembles, and string and percussion orchestra. There's also a wide variety of music like classical music, modern music, sacred music, and Caribbean music. There's also a junior choir, which consists of the younger children, and is a senior choir, which is the alumni, like the past students and present students. Also, the senior choir will be singing some Bob Marley and a version of the 23rd Psalm from the Billy Graham film His Land.
Ah, very good. So you get in this school, you're exposed from classical to songs written by Lady Lawrence.
Yes.
That she writes songs and she has quite a portfolio of songs, and also you get to do some Caribbean faves that everybody can identify with.
Yes.
And you said this year you're doing Bob Marley. Do you know which Bob Marley song?
I can give you one.
One, okay,
Yeah.
one you can share
One
with
song
us.
we are doing is One Love.
One Love. Okay, very good. What other kinds of instruments are you featuring at the?
Well, there's gonna be
Okay, yes.
there's gonna be percussion instruments like tambourines, castanets, gyro, and there's also string instruments like guitar, violin, and quattro.
Ah, okay, very good. And I recall going to one of the concerts, and you even had opera singing. Will you have that this year?
Yes, this year we will also have an opera singer, one of Lady Lawrence's daughters, Dr. Elizabeth Lawrence, who perform a classical piece.
A classical. Are any of you interested in opera singing?
No, thank you.
No, why?
Personally, no.
I'm not. I enjoy hearing it, but I don't think I would be
You don't think you
interested
can
No.
do that. I know it takes a lot of discipline,
Yeah, it does.
a lot of practice, to hit those notes and breathing.
Right.
You have to know when to breathe, when not to, how to release.
Yeah.
So you get the right pitch and the right notes.
Right.
Okay. So we can expect all of that. Now, what is the difference with the July concert as opposed to December concert in terms of the age ranges of the children?
Okay, so in the July concert, this is for everybody, so past and present student takes part, and everybody sings while the more experienced and developed students play their own piano items or violin pieces.
Oh, okay. And are those the students who already did their exams?
Some of them, but this year I didn't do my exams.
You didn't do your exams
No,
yet?
because I had CXC to focus on.
Oh, CXC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But in the December concert, this is where the newer and the younger students sing and play in front of family and friends. And this is also to get them accustomed to crowds.
Yes, very good. Okay. So every year, you had your concert, 2024.
Yes, we did.
Yes. The concerts are known as fundraisers. So what do you do with the concert funds? What the school does with the concert funds?
So the funds are always raised for community causes. Very often, a church is a major beneficiary, and the church uses it to purchase musical instruments in building and repair or construction.
Okay, so it all goes to the church. And
Yeah,
who was
but
your... Go ahead.
There's also, the money also goes towards community causes like Harris's Home, the Cadden Home, Special Education Unit, and the Children's Home.
Yes, I think that you also donated to PALS too.
Right.
That's the Pediatric Assistance League of St. Kitts Nevis. And years ago when it had Project Strong.
Hmm.
Yes.
And the music school also has a food program
A food program.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
through which it makes monthly food donations to persons in our communities.
Very good. Very good. So you're not just you're learning music, but you're also part of the social responsibility.
Yeah.
Very good. A nice marriage of learning and giving back. So which church was the major beneficiary last year?
Oh, last year, the major beneficiary was the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church.
Okay, very good. Do you know who is going to be the one this year that's left to be decided?
Yes, the major beneficiary this year is the Wesley Methodist Church.
Okay, so every time it is held in that church gets the benefit.
Yes, yes.
Yes, because I think last year it was Immaculate Conception.
It was held, right.
Yes, so whichever church it is held, it is good to know. You know, I don't know the extent to which the general public is aware of it.
Right.
You know, they're aware of this. Perhaps the parents know, you know, or your Miss Lady Lawrence's little committee in the school, they are aware. But it is good to bring this out for the general public so that we can know that these things are part of the experience of the children. Okay?
Yeah.
Great. That's good to know. Now, you said we do the 2 concerts this year, so we can look forward to some of the major features being the older children, like yourselves.
Yes.
Are there any older children? Are you the eldest in the school?
No, we're not.
16-year-olds?
We're not the eldest.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, great. She's thinking. Shade is thinking. Okay. So, how do we get the tickets?
So
Let
you-
me remind the public first, before we look at how we get the tickets. Let me remind the public it's on July 8th at the Wesley Methodist Church, starting at 7:30 p.m. How did I do?
Great. That's
Great. Okay, I have got straight. And so tell us, how do we get the tickets for this show?
So tickets are available from Miss Lady Huldah Lawrence and Dr. Louisa Lawrence. Also, you can get tickets from music school parents and students, and also the Harmony Christian Bookstore by the Methodist Church. And also Meridian Medical has
Tickets on sale. And the Harmony Christian store is located where?
by the Methodist Church.
Oh, it's not on 4th Street anymore?
No,
I learned something new. It moved. I go there. I guess I haven't been there in the last year. Okay, good to know because I'm just learning that. It has moved. What about any social media presence?
Oh, yes. The music school has an Instagram page, and it is called the Lawrence School of Music.
Now, there's an at?
Yes.
Okay,
At
at
Lawrence
Lawrence
School
School
of
of
Music
Music.
on Instagram.
I'm making sure I remember my social media protocols. So it's at Lawrence School of Music.
Yes,
So
it is.
let's get more into you. How old were you when you started music?
I started music when I was 5.
when I was 5, yeah.
Oh, both of you at 5.
Yeah.
And what instruments did you begin with?
We've started with piano.
Piano?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know some children start with the violin.
Well, we
Then-
actually did violin later on.
Later?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I still stick to piano, and she does. violin.
I do more violin.
You do more violin. You know, I know some children do the violin and then they do the piano. And then they go between the violin and the piano.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other instruments you're interested in?
I think I want to try guitar.
You want to try the guitar?
Yeah.
I saw a young lady, I think it was not your piano forte. It was at the concert. You know, every Christmas there's this concert in the St. George's Anglican Church.
Yes.
And this little girl, she played the piano, she sang, she was excellent. I don't remember her name offhand, but she did that performance. I found it was such a great performance that she put on there, both, manipulating the guitar, playing the guitar while singing.
But also last year at the St. George's Anglican Church, some of the violinists from the Lawrence School of Music played, and I played last year.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
And not only that, I saw the Lawrence School of Music students at the Governor General's music event in April. Were you there?
Yes, I was there.
Or you played the violin?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't play violin, so
No, you were doing the piano. You play piano.
Yeah, I play piano. Yeah.
Yes. And I thought it was a good, it brought a good addition to the event because, they were mainly, at the event, they were mainly singing, playing other instruments, etc. But they played in the lobby before the event started. They did an excellent job. For persons who attended, they did an excellent job. So, how often you practice?
Well,
You go just when you go to class?
no. I practice. Well, I try to practice every day, but it doesn't happen like that all the time. So I try to practice at least 3 times a week.
Oh, 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, for violin, I should probably practice more, but I practice at least 3 times a week. I don't get to do it every day, but I feel like where I'm right now with my piece, I'm pretty comfortable, so I go to practice pretty often, so I don't think I need to practice as much as when I just started the piece.
Okay. But you recognize that playing these instruments, apart from, how would you rate, before I come to this question, how would you rate on a continuum of 1 to 10 your love of music?
I would say I'm going like 8. An 8.
What about you,
Yeah, I would
Shadi?
say 8.5. Depends on the music, and if I'm playing the music, I'll just listening to it.
Because, that would influence how successful you are at it.
Yeah.
Is it a passion coming from inside, or did you go just because your parents said you should?
It's
go?
a passion. Well,
At first, when you first started when we were 5, it was because of my mom. But now I'm older, I actually enjoy it, and I like playing pieces, like playing songs that I like and that I know because that's more enjoyable, and it brings satisfaction.
yeah, it does.
Okay, great. Because I'm certain that you've seen others play. If you look around your community and they're not members of the school, but other adult persons play the violin, they play the piano, like when you were at the concert.
Yeah.
And you see how, I remember there was this young lady who did such a great job on the violin. Wouldn't you like to play like that? Or?
I don't know if I see violin like professionally,
Okay.
other than just a hobby, but I don't know. I didn't think that far yet.
Not that fast yet.
Yeah.
What about you?
I definitely want to do piano.
Abigail? You definitely want to play
Yeah.
the piano.
Probably like I just enjoy it, not even like as something to do, but something to just relieve my stress or just to relax. I like to play the piano. I'll
Okay.
learn new songs. Yeah.
But you do agree that you have to be musically sound in order to build and stretch yourself.
Well, you have to learn the basics.
You have to know the basics.
Yeah,
And
because
you have to practice.
you have to practice a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
So
okay.
once you know the basics, then you can technically build to any instrument you want to.
Very good. And then now I'm going to link it with music festival. Have you ever attended music festival?
No, I have not.
No, but you've heard about it.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And would you like to one day? Do you see yourselves performing on music festival?
No.
Why not?
No.
No?
I think if I'm to go, I'd rather just enjoy it and sit down and enjoy
I
it.
don't know why you're discounting why you can't play the violin on music festival. I remember years ago we had a violinist here at music festival. She did an amazing job, and how she integrated, the current music, the soca. Those are areas you can stretch yourselves, in.
That's true.
Take your talent elsewhere while you do other things. You can stretch yourself and participate. Or maybe one day the music school could be a little guest.
Maybe.
Do a guest performance, something like, maybe not individually, but collectively. You can do a guest performance. This year, we had the Honeybee String Band.
Oh.
Yes, they performed, and they were at the Governor General's event also. You remember?
Yeah, I know.
Yes. And they also perform. So don't discount that. Don't take your eyes off of that. The music school, they do a very good job at, honing your performance skills, learning, and perhaps you would be able to become a part of that. So have a think about it. I'm sure certain Miss Louisa, because could envision that.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Remember I said we are in the 27th edition of Music Festival. And now we have the honeybees who are there. So you never know what is next for the Lawrence School of Music.
That's true. That's true.
That's true? Okay, see, I get you to agree a bit. Also, I want to ask you about the balance with your schoolwork. I think both of you finished your CXCs.
Yeah, we just graduated last
You just did your CXCs.
Yeah.
How did you find balancing that? How did you find music helped you with your schoolwork? What is your experience? Share it with us.
To be honest, when I was preparing for CXC, especially in the last weeks, I didn't really touch music until I finished with my CXCs. Then I went into music because I feel like I wouldn't have been fully focused on my schoolwork. So I just did one after the other.
Okay, how about Abigail?
Same for me. I finished all my exams, and then, right after I finished my exams, I started learning my concert piece. So I was able to learn it pretty quickly, because me having exams didn't stop me from learning my piece. And I still got it done in a good time. So, yeah.
Excellent that you can balance. I was a teacher many years ago. I went to Teachers College, and I remember doing music. I did a music in secondary schools, teaching music in secondary schools. My lecturer then was, maybe your mother or your parents would have told you about Mr. Ian Hodge. Yes, a well-known and accomplished musician in St. Kitts Nevis. He was my lecturer. And I think in that year we did grade 2 music. And in that, just a short space of time. And we had to do a paper and look at the benefits of music on the individual and in their learning. How did it support, So we were making a case as to whether music should be included in schools for children, to be able to use that.
Oh, okay.
I think CXC has a program. I'm not certain right
It's a
now.
subject. Music is a
On its own.
Yeah,
So it's not integrated with the performing arts one.
No.
Okay, good. Because I know they did one. And have you ever considered that?
No, because I do music out of school. I didn't.
Because you do it out of school. Okay, great. So I'm hoping that you are going to think about these things and look for a balance and hope that you don't stop going to music after you advance in life. What do you think?
I don't think I will. No.
You don't think you will stop?
I think I'll try to find a balance between them.
Shade is still thinking. I can see in her eyes. She's still thinking about what she will do. Put the mic if you're going to talk, yes.
Yeah, I think when I'm older, I'll still have music ahead of me. I'll probably go back and forth between piano and violin since I've done both. But yeah, I don't think I'll stop.
You don't stop. What about before we close off, your experience with your music teachers? I mean, what does it take? I know it's quite a number of you at the school. And sometimes, because I visit there, my granddaughter goes there. So sometimes, there is this different layers of teaching. Sometimes there's piano. Sometimes there is violin. How would you describe that experience in terms of the attention that you get? How do you do with that?
Luckily, we have a great teacher, Miss Dr. Louisa Lawrence.
You can hear? Sorry, just bring it closer.
Dr.
Yes.
Louisa Lawrence is a great teacher, and she really focuses on each student. So, for example, if I'm learning a piece and I need help, she would show me how to do it, and then she goes to a different student. Like, she goes around. And it also depends on the student's needs. Like, if they're a newer student, they would need more attention. And if they're older, more advanced student, they won't need as much time and attention.
But you did your exams already for piano?
Not this year. I did an exam last year.
Last year.
I didn't do one this year.
Okay. So how has it been for you, Shade? Shade is the shy one.
Yeah, Miss Louise is a really good teacher. But she also gives attention to whoever needs it. So because my pieces aren't usually, I don't need that much attention. I would just ask her when I don't understand something, but she's always available. Even if she's teaching the younger ones, she's always available.
Okay, great. So you seem to have very great experiences. And so I think I figured out who your mom is, Shelley.
Yes.
Yes, I figured out who your mom is as you talk. I remember twins and then Hillock. I said, yes. And I'm looking at Shadi, Great. Now I'm going to let both of you do an act, just say something to encourage people to come to the concert.
Okay, this is just a reminder that the concert is next week, Tuesday, July 8th, at the Wesley Methodist Church, and it will start at 7:30 p.m. sharp. I promise you will not regret coming, and you will definitely not forget it.
Shadi, what about your pitch?
I'm just reminding you that the Wesley Methodist Church is by Warner Seaton Street, Bastille. And it's a concert you will never forget. So
Okay.
Come on out.
Okay. Young ladies, I want to thank you so much for joining me. We're just coming off Music Festival and wanted to plant the seed in your head. Stretch yourself. Continue with the love that you have for music, the passion. It can take you places. You never know what it can do, right? And I want the general public to come out and support the school. And I am happy that you have shared that it's not just about the playing of the music, but you're participating good social responsibility. The school gives back, and that it has been a very positive, I can say, positive learning experience at the Lawrence School of Music. So now we can go and take some ads, and I want to thank you for joining me here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Can I get a wow? It's the sound you'll make when you get all alone. Wow. It's the effect you'll get when you upgrade your home. From a place you once knew to a dream home come true. Wow. Is a brand new view with a love that's so strong. Where you belong. Wow. For a home like new. Wow. It's the sound you'll make when you get all alone. Wow. It's the effect you'll get when you upgrade your home.
Upgrade, improve, enhance your home with National Bank's Wow Mortgage. For the effect you'll get when you upgrade your home. Lowest interest rate guaranteed and the most favorable terms.
Wow Mortgage. Can I get a wow?
Reliable, dependable, Delta.
If you live here in St. Kitts and your tank on E, there's only one place that you should be. Maybe driving in Nevis and you need some fuel. Go straight to Delta. Don't be a fool. Get your cooking gas fast. All petroleum needs ULSD. Everyone in the region is shouting, Go Delta. Premium gasoline in a fully stocked C-store. So there's only one place you should be. Delta Petroleum, baby.
Y'all ready for this? St. Kitts and Nevis, are you ready? The game is about to change. Sports betting and iGaming like you've never seen it before. Coming soon. Powered by BetGauge Sports. The action, the odds, the thrill. Bet the way you want. Anytime, anywhere. Get ready, St. Kitts and Nevis, because Betcage Sports is bringing the heat. The heat is on. Proud sponsor of Cricket West Indies. Play responsibly. Must be 21 and older to play. The heat is
RIA Easy Money Transfer Limited, located on West Independence Square Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts, and the Solomon Arcade, Nevis, offers you safe and reliable transfers at great low rates and fees to 507,000 locations worldwide, with a pickup time of just 15 minutes after your transfer. And for even more ease of doing business, we home deliver and direct bank deposits in selected countries. So if anytime you want to send money to family, friends, and loved ones, at RIA, we've got you covered. With over 30 years of experience moving money quickly, efficiently, and securely across 160 countries. Give us a call at 465-3325 in St. Kitts or 469-3325 in Nevis. Opening hours Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 8:30 in Nevis, and on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. RIA Easy Money Transfer Limited.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
Hey, Webmaster here. I stay connected to Freedom with the Freedom SKN app. Simply search for the Freedom app in the Android's Play Store or the Apple's App Store and download it. Enjoy world-class radio at its best, anytime, anywhere. Become a Freedom apper today.
RIA Easy Money Transfer Limited, located on West Independence Square Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts, and the Solomon Arcade, Nevis, offers you safe and reliable transfers at great low rates and fees to 507,000 locations worldwide, with a pickup time of just 15 minutes after your transfer. And for even more ease of doing business, we home deliver and direct bank deposits in selected countries. So if anytime you want to send money to family, friends, and loved ones, at RIA, we've got you covered. With over 30 years of experience moving money quickly, efficiently, and securely across 160 countries. Give us a call at 465-3325 in St. Kitts or 469-3325 in Nevis. Opening hours Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 8:30 in Nevis, and on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. RIA Easy Money Transfer Limited.
We are back. I trust and hope that you appreciated the young persons coming in to speak about their piano forte and their music school. I would like to give them great commendations for that, and I hope the listening public, you would find some time, make some effort to attend their concert. And I hope you recognize the power of music, even not only from the listening perspective, but from engaging in learning to play an instrument. Now we can turn our attention to our music festival. Your experiences, you can share them today. I can start by sharing my experience. I had a great time, not only from the music, but you have an opportunity to socialize, meet people you have not met for a long time, enjoy music, and just have a great time, a pause. And this year's music festival, I've spoken to some persons, and they think it's one of the biggest we've had in a long time, particularly on the Friday night. It was packed. Most persons I saw, they were having a good time, felt they were having a good time. So you are invited to call in, let us know how you feel. But let me also begin with our local artists, who I think featured very well, presented themselves very well. Earlier I spoke to the young ladies about the Honeybee String Band. It was when we started 27 years ago. Most of these kinds of presentations were done on site. We would see all masquerades, etc. But now the Honeybee String Band made it to the stage. We had our local artists like Rukas, Akai, Jazz Botubab. We had Ideli and Dejo. What I noted was that the length of time given to him was about an hour and something, which was very good, because normally they have lesser time. They have a more condensed time to be on stage. And here we had our individual artists, Dejo featuring for more than an hour and doing a great job, great voice, great performance. How do we feel about that? I mean, it was very proud to see our artists up there. And then the female, Virgil Hodge, commendation going out to her as a female artist. Now, most times we have seen more of the male side, but now we had a bold, great sounding voice, powerful voice by Virgil Hodge, who presented herself very well, and the band. And let me give commendation to all the bands who was doing the backup. Here again, we have talented musicians here who can deliver at the same level as others in the region and internationally. So how do we feel about our music festival and your experience? You're invited to call in. I don't know, LJ, do we have anything lighting up for now? No, not as yet. And tell us about how you feel about it from one to the next. Any topic on it. In the meantime, I would like to commend the organizers for another splendid job of our music festival in terms of organization. While you're reflecting on these things, it's important to think about what goes into the energies, the time, the money, the cooperation, the collaboration, the partnerships that go into organizing events of this nature at this level. And sometimes things go well, sometimes we have our little hiccups, but the point is that we have to learn how to work together to fix things. And I want us to have a think about all of the players involved, all of the persons involved, so that, let us commend them. Let us give grace. Let us commend them also on how well it was staged for this year, like the years before, but we seem to be getting better and better at it, and looking at how the music festival has evolved. 27 years ago we started this journey. But one of the things I'd like to point out for today in terms of my own observation is that the festival is a very good example, and I said it to Junie just before I came, a very good example of one of the continuous government examples that has been followed. It didn't matter. It was introduced in 1996, I think was the first one, and it has grown. And it didn't matter the players. We had changes of faces, but everybody thus far, they have stuck to what the festival represents, what it should represent, what were the objectives of the festival. And all of those efforts, even though the faces changed at times, have made the music festival what it is today. So let us have a think about that when you're putting your thoughts together, your ideas in terms of what you share. Maybe, LJ, we can take a break and come back.
Master here. I stay connected to Freedom with the Freedom SKN app. Simply search for the Freedom app in the Android's Play Store or the Apple's App Store and download it. Enjoy world-class radio at its best, anytime, anywhere. Become a Freedom Apper today.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low-interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
Okay, and we are back. And we have a caller, and LJ will facilitate this for me. Thank you. Go ahead. Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sorry. Calling from Barbados, calling from Red Advertising in Barbados.
Barbados?
Hello?
Hello? Yes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Can hear you now.
Okay, great. Calling from Red Advertising in Barbados. We're trying to get a time for a 15-minute interview on the 10th of July.
Could you call back? You're on the show. You're on a radio show. So just call back and they'll take your information offline.
Okay, thank you.
About 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes. Freedom is very popular. Yes. Okay, so we continue with our little chat here. That one made me smile. Yes. So just to get your thoughts going again in terms of the worth of the price of music festival, what are your thoughts on that? I had different conversations with people who think that our festival is a steal of a deal in terms of a package. This year was the first year that persons paid $175 for the festival. And we know we have to invest a lot to get the experience and the feel out there. For when we are in the moment, the stage, first of all, the decor, the stage lighting, the sound systems, and $175 is still considered a very good price for the package that we get for Music Festival. I would like to know what your thoughts are on that. In my view, it could be an increase could be considered over time, because when we go, not overseas, if you just check standards pricing, I know I follow the Beyonce concert a bit, and just to sit in the stands meant a long distance away from the stage. That's between $100 to $200, over 200 and something US dollars. and then you have another level on the grounds, and then the VIP for Beyonce costs almost $900 and people are there. People attend. So what are our thoughts on that? But I like the way that the fees were staggered over time, so that persons got accustomed and knew that, well, in 2025 we had to pay $175. I thought that was a good move to let people know in advance. And if ever the fees were to move, we should allow people to know in advance, because it is one of the main things that we look forward to to be part of the music festival. And it is all encompassing. We want to make sure as many persons outside of the persons who are coming locally get an opportunity to be a part of music festival and get that experience. We have a caller, and let's hear what this caller has to say. Good afternoon.
Hello?
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 Yeah, hearing you.
Yeah, this is Rally Low. The music festival was excellent.
Yes.
And White Sand was excellent, coming from Rally Low.
Who?
Yeah, from Rally Low. Was real excellent. The weekend was excellent, and the government keep up the good work, and the committee keep up the good work. Only one problem I got right now, the food thing, what the government giving. This is the last day of the month. Today is 30th, and me ain't seeing the money on my account to get the food stuff coming from Rally Low.
Okay. Well, tell us why the music festival was excellent. What made it excellent for you? Point. It was excellent. Thank you. I agree with you. We had a great time on the point of the BBW, I think it's called. We knew in advance that it would be 6 months, and today is the end of the last day of June. So the BBW we won't receive that in July and for the rest of the year unless a different decision is taken. But we knew in advance that it would be from January to June. Rally Love and others, we knew that. So there's one caller telling us he had a great time for the entire weekend. And I think that is shared by most persons. Now, the other area in which people make observations, or the other set of observations for Music Festival, is the economic activity associated with it. We know that hotels were booked. I think one of the things that boosted this activity was the early announcement. I think it's the second time that Music Festival announced at least the headliner artists in January. And I thought that augured very well for planning for persons not only overseas, but for our local persons. It was followed by tickets on special prices, and that boosted early ticket sale. It gave persons the opportunity to plan early so that if they bought their tickets that early, they didn't have to spend money in June to buy all the tickets they needed. People took advantage of that reduced price in January. And because they were aware who the artists were early, they were able to, it's sort of what pumped up people, spread the vibes, had a feel-good vibe about Music Festival for June. And I think that helped. In addition, you also had, coming closer to the time, I think up to March, some rental cars, the requests, they had no space. They had no space. And it was very difficult to get rental cars. The hotels were full. I know persons stayed in Airbnbs, apart from those persons who stayed with families and friends. So I think that normally they do an exit survey. We should be hearing some more concrete information about, about how that impacted our local economy. And that is just hotels, accommodation, cars. Now you also had what they call the spin-off effects for the hairdressers, makeup artists, restaurants, the other different liming spots. Because people generally, when music festivals start, they seem not to cook. Everybody's out liming and drinking and eating and trying to get some of our local food. So we have that increased activity there. So we look forward to getting more information on. We know about it, but perhaps I'm certain there may be surveys that will give us more specific information on how that positively impacted our local economy during this time in June. And we look forward to another early announcement of artists, we hope. Another early announcement so we could ramp up our efforts, ramp up increased incoming visitors for next year. That's a goal. We would want to see that consistently and not just for 1 year. So we look forward to hearing that. I'm certain many of you outside are also looking forward to hearing, well, what could top this? What could bring more artists here? In St. Kitts Nevis for 2026 Music Festival. What will be next? Okay, LJ, we can take another break. People are quiet today. Are they tired?
RIA Easy Money Transfer Limited, located on West Independence Square Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts, and the Solomon Arcade, Nevis, offers you safe and reliable transfers at great low rates and fees to 507,000 locations worldwide, with a pickup time of just 15 minutes after your transfer. And for even more ease of doing business, we home deliver and direct bank deposits in selected countries. So if anytime you want to send money to family, friends, and loved ones, at RIA, we've got you covered with over 30 years of experience moving money quickly, efficiently, and securely across 160 countries. Give us a call at 465-3325 in St. Kitts or 469-3325 in Nevis. Opening hours Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 8:30 in Nevis, and on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. RIA Easy Money Transfer Limited.
Can I get a wow? It's the sound you'll make when you get all alone. Wow, it's the effect you'll get when you upgrade your home. From a place you once knew to a dream home come true. Wow, is a brand new view with a love that's so strong. Where you belong. Wow, for a home like new. Wow, it's the sound you'll make when you get all alone. Wow, it's the effect you'll get when you upgrade your home.
Upgrade, improve, enhance your home with National Bank's Wow Mortgage. For the effect you'll get when you upgrade your home. Lowest interest rate guaranteed and the most favorable terms.
Wow Mortgage. Can I get a wow?
Okay, and we're back. Yes, and I'm going to continue to speak about the local economic benefits at the festival. We always have the persons who cater. That's another area that gets a lot of business during music festival times because you have about 3 major VIP spaces, and you also have the sponsor spaces. So, and they get caterers to cater the food for these VIP spaces. And based on my observations and understanding, there were many people in the VIP areas, many persons. And then on the grounds, there were so many people who could go to the different bars for drinks and food. So that opportunity also to make some money for, the very small businesses, those persons who cater or whatever, on whatever scale, they also had the opportunity to benefit from that, especially the drink persons. And what I liked about the general atmosphere, I walked around and there was this wall that says that I was here at the Music Festival 2025, which was good for the visitors to go and take pictures. There were many opportunities. And that's another group of persons, the photographers, those service providers, the photographers, and the videographers. And you could get pictures there. The St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival had an area. They also used the opportunity to advertise for Carnival 2025 to 2026. So with all the visitors here, we have had the opportunity for them to partake. Can we have a caller?
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, yes, good afternoon. Well,
you're talking about the festival?
Yes, you can share anything, your experience about the
the festival was good. It was good. That's some good lineup and things.
Could you repeat? It was good, but I didn't hear the last part.
I said he had some good lineup. I hope they don't jump the ball this year. They got to keep it at the high standard.
Okay, so you enjoyed the artists, all of the artists.
Well, yeah, some of them was flat and some of them, but majority of the time it was up there,
Okay.
You don't get much dollars because it was good. So, the criticians like to criticize. Not get to criticize, really. You won't get much dollars.
Well, the calling is to share the experiences. Could be positive. It doesn't have to be that. We are looking for positive.
But you don't get much of that. You don't get much of that wrong here.
Get that?
So you don't get much of that wrong here.
Okay, dear. Okay,
Yeah,
but we need them. It was really a wonderful experience. So we need to share that, multiply it, so that next year could be just as great.
And instead of we going one local band in the shop, I know we need 2 or more.
Two?
We need 2 or more.
Okay, why you think so? I think, didn't they have some on the side?
I want the side. I want main stage. I want to see local on the main stage, not on the side. I want to be on the front, the action. Let us see the local and the action, not on the side.
Okay.
Right,
you mean the Thursday night? You look like you like the bands, like...
The Thursday night, I want to see more the local guys out there on the front stage. Even if you're going to one from Thinking and one from Davis, just let them get the publicity. The people to do the local thing, because it's the thing, and people coming in, for that, when they see them man up there, so you want to see them on the number one stage.
Okay, so that's your recommendation. More local bands on the main stage.
Yeah, man. Other than that, everything was just super,
To hear
super
that.
right down into the morning after 6.
You were good with that?
Yeah, man, everything was super. Down to the morning after 6.
Okay, great. Well, I'm happy to hear you had a great time.
Yeah. May I see you in there, but we don't.
Okay, dear. Thanks for that. Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing.
take care. Yeah, see you sometime ago.
Okay, dear.
Yeah.
Take care. Okay. So you had a caller endorsing as the second one. And he's saying that people don't like to talk about good things. That is his view. Why we didn't have we don't have so many calls today. Maybe they're tired too. Maybe people are tired. Well, another caller is on now.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
The festival was all right, okay? But what I would like to see them go forward, you know, in the past we had artists and song gone to the great beyond. At least they could pause like a minute of silence for each of them. For instance, Grant Morgan, we name the man Lamb, Freddie Lamb, these artists and song Milk. These are, you know what I'm saying? Like, pause and make a silence for these people as a host part of the music festival within the year, and they're going to get the great beyond. And as also, when they have fireworks, put out a notice the day before or the day that we're gonna have fireworks at a certain time. So people have their body, you know, how should I put it? Your body gonna be, how should I put it? Okay, you're gonna know that we're gonna have fireworks.
Okay, I think I missed the name. You called 3 names?
The man Lamb, Adrian Lamb, Bram Morgan, and Milk. You know, those are part of the music festival within the year.
Yes, I think he worked with, Milk worked with the...
Right, so I thought that they could have paused for a minute of silence each night for each artist that were gone to the great beyond, going forward. And like a daytime foreigners and so on, come think if they want to have a little something in the afternoon. So if they have a little something like, for instance, on 4th Street, a liming session or something, before they go to the park in the night, because in the day they come here all the way from all over, and you know they want something in the day.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thanks for sharing your observations. But in terms of some of there were fringe activities that people were able to go to. I don't know if you mean that the music festival committee should do it, but I think there have been, instead of them doing it, in some cases, they made sure other businesses they were in a position to have events. I can tell you about 3 that I am aware of. I know on the Wednesday, Melter, we had a buffet lunch, so people who come in, they could have gone there, have some good local food, some good local, food. They also had the binge fete. There's a welcome fete on the Tuesday, the run-up to the Tuesday. They had that. Some people have been partying from the time they landed. I know some persons have been partying. You also had Escape Fete on the Wednesday night, and then that went straight into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know for other activities if you're thinking about, maybe something just before. I don't know, but it's out there. Persons listening can see what they can take away from that. I like your observation, but Gramps Morgan is an artist. Adrian Lamb worked with the festival for years as one of its producers, and I recall that Milk was on one of the committees, and that's a good idea. Yes, we have another caller. Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes.
I'm calling for the show. Is this Freedom?
Yes, this is Freedom.
Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to give my input from what I observed from afar of the music festival this year. I recall when it first started, was it 27 years ago?
Yes.
I spent the entire weekend in St. Kitts because I was doing some work for VO and Vaughan Radio in Nevis. And when I observed what I saw this weekend, we have come a long way. We have come a long way. Kudos to the music festival people. There are always going to be things that we don't like or we don't think went off very well, but I'm sure there's a lot of hard work that goes in to doing something like this. And when I looked at the crowds, I think on the Friday morning's news conference, they announced that there were over 10,000 people at the show on Thursday night. And it seems to me from what I was looking at, Friday night may have even been a bigger crowd than Thursday night. And so kudos for bringing the people here. But there are a couple of things that I guess can be worked on going into the future. I personally know of people who came through from the UK because they couldn't get a flight directly on BA into St. Kitts, and they came through Miami, and they were stuck there for 2-3 days, being given boarding passes and telling to wait on the side, the flight is leaving, and they're not on that flight. They had to end up buying new tickets to come into the U.S. Virgin Islands and into St. Kitts. And my curiosity was there communication between the music festival and the airlines? Because it seems to me American usually have a morning and an afternoon flight, huh? And they didn't seem to put on any extra flights this year. Were they aware that the number of persons trying to get here would have been the size that came here? Very curious about that. And if we're going to go forward on these numbers, certainly the airlines need to look at what they're doing for next year to help more people get here smoother, to make the atmosphere smoother for them. The fringe benefits, my hat was full. I think Nevis did very, very well. The amount of people I saw at the restaurants down on the beach, on Sunshines, on Limes, on Turtle Time, was amazing. I went to one restaurant on Saturday, I wouldn't call the name, and as we walked in, we were told the kitchen was closing because they're running out of food. Because there was and when I looked around, I wondered if we would even get a seat to sit down. There were so many people. And I want to believe most of those people had come over on the water taxis and the ferries just to have a lime in Nevis for the day. So kudos to the Ministry of Tourism, and working with hopefully the Ministry of Tourism in Nevis and making it a St. Kitts Nevis affair as opposed to a St. Kitts Music Festival. Was amazing, was absolutely amazing. There were a number of rentals in Nevis as well. I was getting calls for people who want to come over. And the other thing that has happened is some of the people may have known before they got here or while they're here have extended their tickets because they're now staying for the Mango Festival coming up this weekend. So twinning those two festivals together is humongous. It's great. How many persons have a vacation for only 3 days as opposed to a week and could twin it into seeing 2 islands, 2 activities? That's something that they need to market in a big way for next year. The not only the music festival, but the Mango Festival in Nevis, and make it a St. Kitts Nevis event. I have my own opinions about some of the things that I saw that went on in the shows. I think we need to step up our class game, but it is what it is. And so you have the choice to take it or leave it. But it was quite interesting. I would like to hear from the Ministry of Tourism what it is that they did this year that made it what seems to be bigger than any other year. I'm very, very curious about that, and what they can do to continue to make it bigger next year and for the years to come. And also, I think you mentioned the naming of the artists early, because people in the States, for instance, when you need your vacation for next year, you have to be talking about it now. I'm putting in your request now, or at least I know by the end of this year. Otherwise, you're not going to get your time off for next year if you don't put it in early. And so people need to know early what they're doing so they can make their decisions as to what they want to do based on which artists are coming in and things like that. So I think overall it was a good event. It came over as a good event that worked behind the scenes to make this happen. It was good to see Navision artists, young Abena Amri on the show. The string band, I never thought I would hear about or see a string band on the music festival show, especially the soca night. And from what all I've been told, they did pretty good. There was also a steel band playing, I think, some other night, and of course, one or two of the local bands. I agree with the young man that called earlier. We need to see more local artists on the shows, and I hope they're given more opportunity to showcase. Because there are people, we think that we're in a world by ourselves, but we're not. There are people watching this from all over the world. It was amazing to see a Nigerian perform on our stage the other night. And so that tells me the music festival's name and face is expanding to draw those artists here. And good show, good work.
Okay. Thank you so much for those observations. Very positive, very encouraging. Your observations coalesce with some of those that I have made.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but one point you made that I did not emphasize in terms of the fringe benefits, I like the one with Nevis, because I also understood because of the accommodation challenges in St. Kitts, some persons stayed in Nevis and came down. Also, and so it was very good for the water taxis also, the going and coming. And
absolutely.
Persons went to Nevis to dine and to get a different experience. And you're onto something with the twinning of the festivals. I like that idea. I think that should be explored.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said earlier too, I really hope we name the headliners earlier, so that planning is very important. Planning, especially for those persons, not even for those persons overseas, those persons locally too, because you'd want to see how you can arrange so that you get the best quality experience in terms of your time. Okay? Now,
I have a question.
Yes.
Excuse me, there's something in my throat. Did they announce the young ladies for the St. Kitts for the carnival for this year?
Yes, they did.
I think that's absolutely amazing and great. I think that's amazing that they could do that. And I think they should have. I'm asking myself, why didn't we hear about the young ladies for Culturama during that time as well? But it is what it is. I don't know. There are always situations that make things happen or don't happen. And I hope that they will look at that for next year, the Culturama Committee, and make sure that happens early in the music festival. But I'm sorry, you were making a point.
No, that was a great idea to introduce the girls from St. Kitts.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the girls for culture, they're run by two separate entities, but now you've raised it is something to certainly consider. But I think
working together, I mean, it shows what I saw through this music festival event, because I had about two different groups of friends here. And they were in Nevis, they stayed in St. Kitts, but they were in Nevis just about every day doing stuff. And it reminded me again of the smooth transition of connecting these two islands together. Those water taxi guys, Perkins and those guys, worked tirelessly to make this happen from morning until night, even right down to Carambola on Sunday afternoon. And by the way, I was looking at them, and they had a huge crowd as well. So, I mean, the people really, really came out and enjoyed themselves. And I want to say also, not taking it down a sad note, but we had two very sad events in our federation this weekend in the midst of all this. And it tells me how resilient our people are, because it's a very difficult time. The young child that was missing, that her body was found, and then the Four Seasons manager that died suddenly on Saturday morning, and Four Seasons was full. Those employees had to work under very strenuous circumstances on Saturday to get through that day in light of what had happened. He was very well loved, And so what that tells me is that our people are very resilient. We're not going to let things fall apart. We got to go. We got to keep going. And kudos to all of them, all of those who made it happen, and all of those who are continuing to make it happen.
Yes, thank you for reminding us of that. I mean, it had to be difficult for the Four Seasons staff, and also for the young lady. Many people were concerned, and to have that, to find that news, and it would be the damper for family and friends who knew her.
Oh yeah.
Generally,
for the public, as a mother, it was very difficult for me as a mother to just deal with the news, and I have no idea who the people are, but we are all one people together. We're all one people together.
I like the positive vibes I'm hearing, and thank you so much for the observations. I wanted to say about the airline, though. I'm certain the Ministry of Tourism, has been in conversation with airlines, but I think it was so overwhelming, and we have to look forward to see how we can explore and expand for 2026. I know people who could not get here. On Wednesday night, I found out about a friend who was coming from. He went to Houston, he went to St. Martin, and then back up to get to St. Kitts just for the festival. And then I had another set of family friends who came from Canada, went to St. Martin, and came up on Rainier. People took so many different routes just to get here. So we definitely have to work on, expanding those conversations.
Yes.
Once we get the right fit, and we know that people are looking forward to coming.
Well, it's good information for the future, because through all of that and having my friend stuck in Miami for those couple of days, that's when I found out that American now flies to Anguilla, American flies to Kitts Nevis. So, and the prices are interesting to look at. But next year, American and whoever they have to step up their game. That's the time of the year when the demand is great, and I want to believe they would have known it over these 27 years unless the year was so much bigger than anybody would have anticipated, which is good news. Based on the calls on the numbers I'm seeing, it seems to me this year was bigger than anybody could have even measured.
Cleanup is also important because that influences it. So I'm certain they'll be working on, how could I top this next?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I have a few suggestions. I would love to see Chris Brown down here. Chris Brown. We got to get Chris Brown on our stage. I think that would just, bomb us.
All right. Good talking with you.
Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Yes. Okay, so the lineup, we know, would influence people's interest. And especially because remind ourselves of the price package, the price points. We have suppose we get a Chris Brown. Just imagine. At $175, or maybe they may have to step it up to, $200. We don't know. But a Chris Brown here for the Saturday night, I don't think we need another artist. But maybe some people would disagree or agree. But once you have an artist, we have another caller.
Greetings, Serene Highness.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Greetings.
Greetings.
Extending the greetings to your guests. They're still in studio with you, the musical guests?
No. They left. The children, they did the first part of the show. And now we are just taking people's general feedback.
Yeah, got you. We want to extend all the best to them, Yeah, man. Okay, where we should start? Music festival. Think it's music festival. We should start. We're going to start with the creator, with bigging up Brother Dwyer Safran, with the meditation, Because everything starts with a meditation, until it becomes a manifestation, not true?
Yes.
We put flesh to it.
Agree, because I said earlier in the show, the music festival is one of the best examples of continuous government. Dwyer at the time provided the template. The template has been followed, it has been fleshed out more, and we're building. We are building. So we have to give thanks for that. I agree with you.
Yeah, I hope everything, because we're looking forward to everything be continuous, everything else. You don't know. Okay, we start this, so rightly so. When your caller said about observing some minute silence for ones and ones, that should really be so. We can't be ungrateful. We have to acknowledge the pillars and the path pavers. And that is very, them who rallied. You see, Adrian is a worker, We work with him, Adrian passed, and the system still owe him money. Yeah, we want to say that publicly. Yeah, because so much so that they make Adrian owe all people money right now. So, the ungratefulness no good. They say worse than obia. So we have to be careful. You see, the second night, before we go there, we want to thank the meditation again for making the string band be inclusive in the scheme of things, natural creativity. Big up the Freeman family. Give thanks. Yeah, and consider it I more and I more. Yeah, somebody talked about stage earlier, but we don't go there, so, because stage is a stage. All right. You see, the second night, too much pee. Too much of that. And we are plagued with lust. And we have a lot of raping that's go on that we don't even know about. And as we said before, and we keep saying, raping is like murder. You see me? So, we want the organizers to look upon that. We have too much pee. Too much pee. Everybody know what I mean when I say pee, ain't it?
You don't have to expound.
Good.
I think we get it.
Good. Yeah, we don't need so much of that. All right. What else we observe again? We observe a few more things, but we have time to analyze more. Give thanks to the time and give thanks to all the information shared. Blessed love.
Okay, blessings. Thank you very much. We heard, my good friend, that we had too much pee. There are many. I've engaged. I knew this would come up. Many persons have very strong feelings about it. And it is, some people feel it was too much in the face, and we have to look at it with what's happening in the greater, in the larger society, by extension, what is happening. And some people are very concerned about it. The caller just read lust, raping. I know we have more social media now. Many ages ago, these things happened. We are aware there's a certain level of awareness around this topic, but it was not so much in our faces. And it comes down to what is it? How is it affecting us? How it's affecting the society? I think that deeper conversation has to go on about that, because many people have very strong feelings about it. Some persons have said to me, look, they're singing about the reality. There's that school of thought also. But I think we have to have some deeper discussions about it. How does it affect us in that way? Too much? What does that mean? And at the same time, on the other side of the coin, people feel it is all around us, so why should we hide it? So I'm just putting to you some of the thoughts shared by some persons. The caller also endorsed the minute of silence and also paid tribute to former Minister Dwight Astafan and the team that introduced it. The hard work has been there. I think I'd like to close off the show by paying tribute to all those who started it, those who continued. As I said, the faces change, but we stayed focused on growing our music festival. It has certainly evolved. We've had more service providers become part of it. We've had some stalwarts. Another stalwart in the music festival I like to mention is Alistair Williams. He's a quiet strength in there. He has worked music festival also for many years. And different persons, there's so many. But I recall they used to have Ages of Co. They used to have the post-mortem, and they used to have a little appreciation event for them. I don't know to what extent that has continued, but we can look at that. But many persons, I feel like this product, has become ours. We have been molding it, we have been shaping it, and we should continue to mold and shape it into something that we are proud of. And it shows that we can work together. Even though faces change, different persons, but this music festival belongs to us. And I look forward to hearing early announcement of artists. I think that many people would look forward to that. I am rooting for Chris Brown. And with that, today, I'll close off. I want to thank persons for calling in, sharing their positive contribution, and where they had concerns, they were able to do that respectfully. So continue to have a wonderful afternoon. Sharon Ratton here. I'll be back on Issues when I'm available. Issues St. Kitts Nevis.